AITA for refusing to pick up my 4-year-old from my ex? I know how the title sounds, but hear me out. I have a 4-year-old with my ex. Him and his girlfriend were expecting a baby any day now. It was around 12 a.m. on Saturday when he called me and asked me to pick up my son because his girlfriend was in labor. I had no problem watching my son, but I had been drinking, so I told him I wouldn't be able to pick him up and he needed to be dropped off. They live a 5-minute drive away from me. He argued with me and told me I needed to come and pick him up now, since she was in labor. I explained I had been drinking and would not be driving to come get him because I did not feel safe driving myself, let alone with my 4-year-old in the car. I was perfectly capable of watching him, but he would need to be dropped off to me, since I had had a few drinks. He called me irresponsible and told me I shouldn't have been drinking so close to her due date. He never once told me her due date or that I should be available during his parenting time to pick him up in case she goes into labor. I told him that while my 4-year-old is my responsibility on my parenting time, his girlfriend and new baby were not my responsibility. I also said it would be irresponsible of me drive after I'd had a few drinks. I reiterated that I was willing to take him, but he needed to drop him off because I would not be driving since I'd had a few drinks. He started yelling at me over the phone to get your arse over here now. So I just hung up and sent him a text that I was home if he decided to drop him off. He ended up dropping him off and screaming at me in front of our 4-year-old, so I took my son inside and locked the door. This whole argument took 30 minutes, while he could have just drove the 5 minutes and dropped him off and been on his way. I honestly feel sorry for the girlfriend for having to wait even longer to go to the hospital, but I was not about to put my son or anyone else in danger because he wanted me to drive while I'd been drinking. So AITA for refusing to pick up my son? Comments. Documented for future custody reviews. Wanting you to drive your son while intoxicated is terrible parenting on his part. NTA, and he needed to work out this plan in detail before she went into labor. Next story. AITA for telling my friend that her free wedding is unrealistic? I, 24F, am a member of a friend group in which one member, we'll call her Coral, 23F, is getting married. She announced her engagement to her fiancé, 25M, a few weeks ago and we were all happy for her. Over the weekend, though, she shared more specific plans for the wedding, and that's where things have kinda gone off the rails. She said she's been seeing a lot of people on TikTok and Insta showing how to plan free weddings where the couple spends $0, aside from the marriage certificate fee, I guess. At first I thought she meant a city hall wedding, which would be completely fine. But then she got into the details and her expectations for the ceremony. She's going to try and find someone with a large outdoor space to use, not formally a wedding venue, who will donate their area in support of love. She's going to have all of her guests bring a potluck, with very specific assignments. She will have a friend officiate, a friend do photography, a friend do save the dates and invites, her family do the flowers, etc., including some harder to swing, things like getting a large tent, decorations, wedding favors, speakers, band, etc. I'm not sure what her plan was for a dress. What's more is that Coral and her fiancé really aren't poor, from what I can tell. She works as an accountant at a big company and her fiancé does software sales. Plus his parents are loaded. It sounds like they just want to do the free wedding thing for the sake of it. That would be okay, but she is just shifting all of the costs onto other people, some of whom are probably less well off. She told me that she wants me to make the cake, and then sent me some pictures for inspiration. The cakes were ridiculously elaborate. We're talking multi-tier, fondant flowers, gold leaf, and one even had a hand-painted watercolor design. I'm not a professional baker, I just like to bake cookies and brownies sometimes. I told her that those cakes would probably take me days to make, and they wouldn't come out anywhere near as good. She kind of laughed that off and said, "Oh, it's not about it being perfect, it's just about everyone pitching in. It'll be fun." I told her that, fun or not, what she was describing was basically her friends and family subsidizing her wedding, with time, money, and labor, and that it was kind of unfair to expect people to spend so much on her free wedding. Or else, she was expecting everyone to show up to a lackluster event and just pretend it was amazing. It's like a group project that none of us wanted to do because we already graduated and moved on from all that, so we don't need the credit. She does graduate a year later the rest of us. I said that if she wants a free wedding, she should probably just elope or go to City Hall, because this isn't really free, it's just free for her. I might have been a bit more forceful in my wording, but I didn't swear or call her names or anything like that. She got super quiet and just looked at me for a minute or so and then left, with another one of our friends driving her home. Later that night, I got a text from that friend saying I had really hurt Coral's feelings, and that even if the plans were a bit unrealistic, I should have just let Coral come to that conclusion on her own. Coral then messaged me just saying sorry, don't worry about the cake, with no more context. I am feeling pretty bad now, especially since Coral was so happy and excited and she never really said anything mean to me. Perhaps I should have just gone along with the cake, since she said she wouldn't be mad if it turned out badly, but I am worried that her wedding would not have been what she wanted. And I was also frustrated about the cake request. Edit, honestly I feel a bit bad now. Coral really is a sweet person who is just a bit naive. I feel like a lot of people in the comments are tearing her up more than she deserves. She has always been the baby of the group and I just got frustrated and ranted on this case. I don't know what the fiancé thinks about all of this. Comments. NTA. She's in for a rude awakening the first time she asks for a free party tent from someone. Those are expensive AF to rent. NTA. Your friend is also embarrassing herself. Guests are not beneficiaries and employees. Coral is being tacky and I honestly have second-hand embarrassment for her. I think a realistic discussion about this is akin to letting her know she has spinach in her teeth.